Hello everybody, Daily Query here, and this year was cursed. Things got wild, and Clan has become a surprisingly important part of things, so I'd like to just jump right into year 3 with the newest members of Clan. The first deaths happened at the very start of the year, with Bigriver and Bigriver had just gotten into a scathing fight with Rushheart, and ended up storming out of camp to take a breather and calm himself down. Followed after him to make sure the elderly Tom would be alright, but to both of their horror, a group of rogues descended on them while they were alone. Dewtree and Bigriver fought fiercely, but sadly, they were no match. Their bodies were found floating in one of the many rivers near camp, lifeless. Dewtree is broken, knowing that he left behind Minnowclover and his new kits, and Bigriver blames himself wholly for their demise. When I did that first time skip and saw Dewtree immediately die, I was horrified. He finally confessed his feelings to Minnowclover, and they had new kits and a bright future, and in a moment, it was all ripped away. Jinxmist was another fatality of the flood season. While out on patrol, a storm fell upon the territory, sending down blinding sheets of rain, and, worst of all, a flash flood. The river swept the patrol away before they could run, but in the end, Jinxmist was the only fatality. Even though he died, Jinxmist is glad that nobody else died with him, and he has no regrets joining the clan, though his time with them had been rather brief. Lastly, and worst of all, was Turtlestar. However, this was no ordinary death to old age. While out hunting near the border of Clan, Turtlestar was ambushed in a planned assassination. Her attacker, Badgerstar, the bloodthirsty leader of Clan. She doesn't know why Badgerstar did it, and the rest of the clan have no idea it was even the Clan leader. Turtlestar's body was found washed ashore in the main river, with a single rake of claws across her neck, and no answers to who did it. Blood and death warning for the image coming on screen. Turtlestar now leaves behind a broken clan, floundering for footing, and a new leader who never truly expected this position. The image is gone. Eurostar, now leader of MarshClan, was thrown into the deep end in the span of a day. He had expected to retire like any other warrior and help the young new deputy however they may need, but fate seemed to have other plans. After he received his 9 lives, Eurostar's immediate order was to stop the rogues from killing anyone else, with no other evidence blaming them for the death of their leader. With the clan rallied behind him, Eurostar led a patrol to drive out these invaders, and it was a great success, driven by justice and grief. He no longer hears doubts about his leadership capabilities, no more complaints or bickering, and though weighed down by regret, Ustar now leads his clan with head held high. Chosen to be his deputy was Minnowclover. Dewtree's death had hit her hard, and the first few nights afterward, she refused to eat or drink, just laying in the clearing watching the stars. It was only with the encouragement of her kits, her apprentice Tallpaw, and her clanmates that she picked herself up again, and after Turtlestar's death, when she was asked to be deputy, she accepted. Though the grief is still raw and racked with pain, Minnowclover takes things day by day and pushes on, refusing to let the empty space in her heart consume her. I feel so bad for Minnowclover, losing her best friend and her true love right after they'd started a family together, and then to lose their leader only a few moons after. At least she's still got her kits. Lowash and Sedgetuft, like the rest of the clan, mourn Turtlestar despite her faults. They've been having a pretty stressful year with everything going on. Lowash has been slowing down in his age, so Sedgetuft has been taking on more responsibilities and even thinking about taking on an apprentice. She's disheartened by all the deaths this year, deaths her medicine cat knowledge couldn't have helped with, and she hopes next year will be brighter. The omens she'd been having the last year about the raging river have come true in a truly horrible way, with far more deaths than she had ever thought. Basilfur and Rushheart, on the other paw, just keep winning. They've got a new trio of kits running about, and they're so proud of their 2 new warriors. With the rogues around, Basilfur had been far more protective and defensive of the camp, going on every patrol she could, and often ignoring her apprentice Roachpaw, or pushing him too hard the very next day. Rushheart, as always, was around to make sure Basilfur didn't push herself too hard. While on a walk to relax, they were attacked by a dog, and though Basilfur managed to fight it off, Rushheart's leg was left permanently injured. Mochacrawl is a new addition to the clan, and joined for a very special reason. Mocha, a kitty pet, bore witness to the ambush and subsequent deaths of Bigriver and Dewtree. She recognized the rogue attackers, for she had been raised in their group before she had escaped to the easier and kinder life of a kitty pet. Immediately, she told the clan all she knew, and later joined the patrol led by Eurostar to chase out the invaders. For her bravery and efforts, she was given a place in MarshClan, and she couldn't be happier, having fought off her dark past both literally and figuratively. Now she's found herself in a new home, and she would gladly defend it with her life, and was even entrusted Skypaw as an apprentice. Tony Pelt has finally been settling in and feeling more comfortable in the clan. She adores watching over and playing with the kits, and after finishing the training of One Paw, decided to become a permanent nursery queen. She's become good friends with Gibby and was devastated when Jinxmas died, but has been sure to make sure the newest members of the clan feel as welcome as she was. This year, Gibby has been doing far better than the last, though he's filled with renewed grief for Turtlestar's death. Given Eurostar's initiative in leading the clan, though, he's confident in his former mentor's abilities. He was, unsurprisingly, one of the first to jump at the idea of attacking the rogues after Dewtree and Bigriver were killed, and was right alongside Eurostar when the attack was led. Popash and Stumpfreckle have had quite the year. They grieve the death of their adoptive mother, but knowing the rogues are gone has helped alleviate the pain. Both of the sisters have had eyes on certain cats, but Stumpfreckle is much less subtle, to say the least, with her main distraction having been training her apprentice, Pansy Paw. Popash has been spending a lot of time with Sedge Stuff, helping out and talking, while Stumpfreckle has been flirty and dreamy-eyed over another warrior we'll talk about shortly. During the rogue battle, Seedpaw was hit by a monster while chasing one out of their territory. He suffered severe head trauma, and the clan wasn't sure he'd survive. His mother was horrified and distraught in the days after, when he was lost in a coma. For his loyalty and bravery, his mentor Eurostar named him a warrior, Seed Daisy, unsure if he'd recover or if he'd join StarClan. When he finally did wake up again, everyone was relieved. He was left with a permanent limp from the ordeal, and has trouble talking now, having been left with a stutter. And he's had to take things easy, but he can't wait to get back to his duties, especially now as a warrior. The second newest warriors, Wondapple and Tansycatcher, have had quite a great year all things considered, though Wondapple could do without her brother's teasing. Her crush on Stumpfreckle hasn't exactly been subtle, and he finds it adorable. He's happy that his sister's happy. And now that the clan is saved from the threat of the rogues, he's ready to focus on being the best warrior he can be. Now for the youngest trio of warriors, Tallspots, Roachback, and Skytuft. Tallspots and Skytuft are still a pair of childish troublemakers, despite how they pretend to be responsible warriors. They wish they could have participated in the battle against the rogues, so they hope for a big battle in the future for them to fight in. Roachback hasn't changed much either. He's still just as fascinated by the world and things around him. This led to some tension with his former mentor, Basilfur, since he often gets distracted during training, and while he certainly respects her, he isn't very close with her either. His sisters can be a bit of a pawful, so he spends a lot of time on his own, but he loves them dearly, pranks and all. The cicada wings he wears were a gift from Skytuft after their warrior ceremony, and he cherishes them. Lastly, the elders Fleetseed and Jessicashade have had a pretty calm time after everything. Jessica used to be a loner, friends with Jinxmist in fact, and with some convincing from his friend, he joined the clan. His age put him at risk out there, and Jinxmist didn't want anything bad to happen to his old friend. Sadly, quite the opposite happened, and it's only because of Fleetseed that Jessicashade stayed with the clan after. Fleetseed has been kind and reassuring, making sure the nervous Tom feels comfortable and still has a friend in the clan. And that's been year 3 of MarshClan. It was quite a lot. When I clicked that first time skip and Dewtree and Bigriver were immediately killed, I knew we were in for a wild year. Not to mention the unexpected murder of Turtlestar. I went and made a ClanGen for DuneClan once that happened, and I gotta say, Badgerstar's a really fun and chaotic lesbian over there. I feel so bad for Minnowclover though. Losing Dewtree really hit her hard. Her best friend and her true love, gone right after they had kits. At least her kits are growing up great, and I hope they have a bright future ahead of them. At least, if Badgerstar isn't planning something worse. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.